Welcome to Sex and the One, the podcast with B and KV.
Getting down and dirty about all things love, life, sex, dating, and relationships. Welcome back to another edition of Sex and the One podcast. I'm KV.
And I'm B.
And we are very, very, very excited because we are here with Carly and Clayton from an adult play centre called the Barn Brisbane. And I will say, just a disclaimer, how I found these guys was I was exploring the idea of perhaps having my own BDSM den at my place. And I typed in BDSM on TikTok and these guys came up, and I've been following them ever since then, which was probably a few months ago now, and excitedly watching all of the things that have happened in such a short period of time, if I'm honest, at their place. So yeah.
Welcome to the pod.
Thank you, guys. And look, all that content is Carly's creation, to be honest. I can't take any credit for that. She does most of the social media work. So it's glad to see it's working, I suppose.
It's
That's
fabulous.
awesome.
It's very enticing, I will say.
That's what we're after.
So tell us, guys, how did the Barn Brisbane come about?
Basically, it came about left field. This space was actually owned by myself, basically, and we've been renting it out and people not paying rent, and basically the times where it were tough and people were getting behind and giving owed a truckload of money, and I was over it. And then we were just sort of trying to nut out how we could create an extra income for the place that we had control over so that we get ripped off. And just through talking to a few people, we decided that we could create a space for adults that could come and play who don't normally have access to the type of equipment that we have here. And bearing in mind, when we decided we would do this, we had zero of that equipment. So we had to create it from literally scratch. And if you look at like the cross behind me, that's not something that people can have every day in their homes because mum and dad come to visit the kids and all those sorts of things. So we went, let's create a place where these people can come to enjoy the space and then stay for the night or head home or whatever they want. But they can do it in their own private sanctuary. So there are other clubs around that we know of where people can go to, but they've got a real open door policy. So it's come one, come all. Pardon, probably shouldn't really say it like that, but
you can say it like that. That's fine.
The way it is, right? So we wanted to create a safe space for originally just for couples that they could come and experiment and explore with each other and then decide whether it's for them or not or whatever, and then be able to go home, but then be able to come back.
So you would like rent it out by the hour, by the 2 hour, overnight or whatever, like people book it and rent it out for themselves? Is that how it works?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have through the week or the weekend, they're different rates with a minimum of 2 hour booking. So Carly sort of generally looks after all that side of things as well.
Right.
Awesome.
Tell us, how did you source the equipment? Asking for a friend.
To be honest, to start with, I started to build it myself.
Right.
So the cross behind me, that was all built from scratch. I basically just sort of looked online and we went and visited a couple of adult stores who had a couple of them in there, and I just sort of visualised it and came back and sketched out some plans and just started to create them just over there with my own tools and stuff. I've got a bit of a tradie background, so I've got some of those skills. Not that I'm a carpenter by any stretch of the imagination, but been around building sites. Then we looked online for things. So we've got a milking table. Now, I may have to explain what that is for some people.
Yes, that would be great.
Are you in the barn right now?
Yeah, we're sitting in the barn right now.
Can you take us on a tour, or is that illegal? No, I'm kidding.
It's probably a bit too hard
Okay.
to pick up the
We'll do
computer
that
and
another
take
time.
you around.
True. Should have asked that before. Yeah, explain what it is. Explain. Give me a
Yes,
visual.
we absolutely want to know about this milking table. Yes.
You want to explain that?
Yeah.
So it's essentially a massage table with a hole for your face, like if you were to go for a normal massage, and then there's another hole further down the table for obviously the men's
Your activities.
bits. And then the woman either sits underneath or lays underneath and pleasures whoever's on the table. And apparently, I've been told, it's a completely different feeling for them.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, you think about it. How often has anyone been laying on a guy been laying on their stomach and been pleasured?
Yeah.
So when you do it,
Not
We
it's
are
completely
thinking about it.
different.
We are definitely thinking
And
about
I'm
it.
like,
It's a completely different feeling, completely different experience.
yeah, because you're sort of suspended, I guess. And that's something that you're
Yeah.
like, you can't physically do in the bedroom.
And you completely relax because you're literally like you're on a massage table with your head in that hole, when you're getting a normal massage. And so your body's completely relaxed and things are going on. But we got that. So I sort of built that table as well. I found it on Facebook Marketplace. It was just a normal massage table that a girl on the Gold Coast was giving away. I wanted it to be timber so I could sand it back and make it match the cross in colour and stuff. I needed to be timber to be strong and solid because you don't know the weight of people that's going to hop on there, any other activity that may happen on there. So it needed to be solid. And then we stripped it, took the original cover off, cut the extra hole in it, and we got a local upholsterer to come in. He took it away, put medical grade leather on it, and reupholstered it for us. And it looks like it's a brand spanking new table.
Wow.
In fact, it's actually been recycled and modified.
How do you develop a list about what you would like in that kind of a space? Like, how do you come up with ideas like, I need a milking table? Like, where does that come from?
Yeah, and I said a lot of research. So watching movies, having just interests in what pleasures other people, and we've asked other people as well.
Yeah, 100%. And we ask our guests that come here and hire the venue for feedback as well on what they'd like to see in here. For instance, we have a guy, I was recently overseas and he was asking for a humbler. He comes here with a mistress.
Yeah.
And that's what a piece of equipment he'd like us to add. So I found it while I was overseas, purchased it and brought it back. So all of those types of things.
So you're just adding to it over time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're adding to it like constantly, to be honest. Yeah.
It's so niche. Like, it's not something you hear of all the time. How did the idea actually come about? Like, where did you go, oh, like this light bulb moment, we need to create an adult space?
So Carly and I with my adult son, and we would sometimes just come out here to the warehouse because upstairs is offices and set up like a lounge room and a bedroom up there. And it was just a bit of a getaway from home rather than hopping in the car and driving to the Gold Coast and spending $400 or $500 a night on a motel down there. Although the views would be a lot better down there, that's for sure, than what we had upstairs here. But it was just an escape. And
just a bit of privacy as well for us and for his son.
Yeah, both. So we just got to thinking, so what if you did something with this? Like, we like coming here. What if we could build something that other people could come to? And then we were like, yeah, but you got to make it more exciting and more out there. And it just flew grew from there.
How long have you been open? Sorry, B.
That's all good.
Opened in May. We had planned to be open in March, but like every good plan, things go pear-shaped. One of the builders fell off the roof of his car and broke his ankle, and so that put us behind. Like, a whole pile of things happened.
Yeah.
That just put us behind a couple of months, but we eventually got there in March. But we started the fit out back in August or September last year.
Wow.
Awesome.
So it took a while to get it all together.
Of course. So I've been married for almost 12 years. If I was to say, Clayton, Carly, I want to take my husband away, I want a night at the barn in Brisbane, but this is like the first time we've done anything like this. Would you be able to give me like a visual or a walkthrough of what I would expect walking in, like the ambience, the like what I would see and how I would sort of ease us into it? Like, can you give an example of maybe what that might look like?
Yeah, okay. So we've got like a reception area. So you'll walk through the reception. Then we have an indoor bar, a beer garden, which has got dartboards. It's got an old school retro video game. It's got TVs.
The vanilla room.
And it's just a room where you can
I
go
love
and,
that.
yeah, just go and chill and relax and just get in the mood, I guess. And then we've got the barn doors. You open the barn doors, and we've got all the adult play equipment. And there is plenty here, and it's almost like a try before you buy. So I know for myself, I've bought plenty of things in the past and taken them home, and I'm like, oh, this is not really suiting me.
Yeah.
And then you've got toys that you're never going to use again. So we have plenty of toys. We've got floggers. We've got a stripper pole. We've got
Pleasure machine, mechanical pleasure machine, if you know what I mean. We've
We
got
are picking up what you are putting down there. Yes, yes.
we've got some electro play stuff.
a whole range of things. And it's all here. So if you want to try it, you try it. If you don't, then you don't. Like there's no pressure to do anything you don't want to do. And, you know, you're only here with your partner or a
Awesome.
small group of people if that's what you've decided to do. And yeah, you get to choose.
So if you were to book it out, you can book for up to how many people would you say would be appropriate?
So we have a restriction on numbers, mainly just so it doesn't get out of control, of up to 8 people.
Okay.
We have, like, in a couple of weeks' time, we have a function here. There's going to be, like, I think they're saying have about 50 people. Now, that'll be a different sort of function. There will be no play or anything like that. It's just literally one of our, well, I'll probably put this out there. I don't think they'll have an issue with it, but one of our suppliers and backers, basically, being the Be Daring Adult Store in Brisbane. It's their 33rd birthday, I think it is. And so they're going to put on a big function for all their affiliates, their suppliers, all that sort of stuff. And they're having it here. But we'll be here as well, so we can keep an eye on and make sure it doesn't get out of control. Not that we think they're going to get out of control, because it's not that type of event. But we have had other people who go, you know, we want to put on an event for 20 or 30 people, and we're expanding to an outdoor area at the moment as well. It's not quite finished. Once we have that, that will allow for that to happen. But when we've got those type of numbers, we want to be here so that we can make sure, just for the security of the venue, and make sure
Yeah.
everything runs smooth.
Yeah. It's very multifunctional from the sounds of things. And I've seen the Instagram page and you've run various workshops. So you've had the Shibari workshop recently, and you've also had the arousal workshop. How's the response from people in the local area to those workshops and to what you provide?
Well, they've been huge, to be honest. That was something that we hadn't anticipated. They approached us, and had like psychologists and stuff who want to run couples reconnection workshops and all that sort of stuff, which we hadn't even thought of.
Yeah.
So it's actually expanding and growing to be more than what we ever dreamt, to be honest. Like when you say multifunctional, we had a couple the other day whose team were playing in the AFL semi-finals, and they'd booked it, but they wanted to use the beer garden first so they could watch the AFL grand final, because apparently him and his partner have bets on if someone scores this goal or they're first to score or whatever, they're going to do this and that, whatever.
Oh, cool.
They use that vanilla space to watch the footy before they
Played.
retired to the barn to play. Yeah, so it is
Nice.
actually truly multi-purpose as well. Yeah.
That is so good. How have you found, what's the level of privacy that people are requiring who are hiring it out? Like, are you finding a lot of people saying, actually, I don't want to use my real name, or please keep this confidential, or anything in that vein?
No, not at all. But we are very protective of people's privacy. Like, we're
Yeah.
not going to, like, I just spoke about a couple who watch the football or whatever, but no one in the world would ever discuss who those people were or where they come from or whatever. For the security of our venue, again, whenever anyone books, they've got to provide us photo identification. And obviously they pay, so through a credit card or they pay in the bank account. So there's tracking there, but we keep that completely confidential. When people come to the venue, we don't even see them. Carly will text them. We have a lockbox, basically. Carly will text them the code for that. The alarm system is remote, so when they're due, the alarm gets turned off. They go to the key box, get the key, come in, do what they do. At the end of their booking, they put the key back in there, lock the door, put the key back, and leave, and that's it. We never even see them. We haven't actually really physically met anyone that has ever been here. So in that way, it's privacy, but we still know who at least one of the people are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you had any issues with anything so far? Like any issues with safety or anything that people might be concerned with?
No, not really. The only thing is we get sometimes people, especially online, like you're playing on who would want to roll around on that bed. But you know what? Every time you go to the Marriott Hotel,
Yeah.
do you think someone hasn't done the same thing on that bed?
Well, not
I think,
Exactly.
I think that bed's the Marriott
Yeah.
Hotel would be doing.
Yeah.
And look,
Yeah.
and to be fair, and disclaimer, we're not just talking about the Marriott Hotel. To be fair to them,
Yes.
it's any hotel, right? It could be anywhere in the world. That activity happens when people go to any hotel. So yes, I use the Marriott as an example, but let's not say that they're bad because they're not. They're obviously got their cleaning standards and that sort of thing. But we take our cleaning standards to the next level. Like once we go through and every single toy and every single surface in this place is sterilised after every single visit. So whether a toy's been used or not, they still go through the full cleaning program. And then at the end, we bring in UVC sterilisation lights, which they don't do that in any hotel that I'm aware of. They do it in hospitals, in operating theatres, and that's the same sort of stuff that we're using here in the barn where people play. And then we've got a sterilisation chamber as well, that all the toys individually go into the sterilisation chamber before they get put back out for anyone to use.
That is, B's bedroom would be not doing very well with that light. I'm just saying. Nothing happens in my bedroom.
No, in those hotel rooms though.
Yeah.
Exactly. So tell us this. Have you got any fun stories about things that you can share that like people might go, wow, I didn't believe that would, like, that's the kind of thing I wouldn't have thought would happen?
We've got our first barn baby coming.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
We definitely want to hear about that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So we had a couple stay in July and they messaged us a couple of weeks ago and said they made a baby while they were staying at the barn.
Wow.
So not anything we expected to happen and so excited for them. So it's great.
That's amazing. That's incredible. Have you found like people have really jumped at it like immediately?
Yeah, absolutely. We don't have a booking tomorrow night, which we are grateful for because we're going to get a day off.
Right.
Because we've just been going and going and going. The bookings have been out of control.
So is it 7 days a week that you can book it out?
Yep, 7 days a week, and you can book during the days. Like OnlyFans creators and people of the lights can come here and create content. I can do it overnight too, but a lot of those people like to create content during the day. And then we generally get them in the morning, so then we can do a clean and have it ready to go for a nighttime booking as well.
Yeah, wow. It's quite the full-time adventure.
Yeah, we're doing all the cleaning at the moment and it's about a 3-hour clean in between bookings.
Yeah.
Just to make sure everything is up to scratch.
And on the cleaning side of things, that's another thing that we do get questioned about is like, oh, yuck. You know what? People in general are very, very respectful. Like, we thought we might get a couple of horror stories, but when people generally leave, the place is spotless. They
Yeah.
actually clean up. Like, we've got a bin that's labelled for the used toys and stuff because we get straight onto those. We got a laundry basket for the laundry, and rubbish bins and all those sorts of things. People use them. We've got 3 sanitizer stations around the venue as well. So we say, like, if you go, just like going to the gym, once you use a piece of equipment, you take the sanitizer wipes and wipe it down. And 99.9% of the people respect that and do it. So it's actually really clean. It's not that hard for us to keep on top of things.
Yeah, wow.
Mm.
What's the bed like?
So it's a 4-poster bed.
Bee's laughing her head off. She's going, yeah, Chris is, I'm taking mental notes just for no reason.
So we've got a timber 4-poster bed. Again,
You made it?
sorry?
You made it?
I didn't make the whole thing, but I certainly have modified it. Again, that came off Facebook Marketplace. Just couldn't find one for ages. It took a long time to find it, but eventually found it. And then brought it home, sanded it all back. I'm a painter by trade, right? So that part was easy. So I stripped it all back, refinished it, but I also added stocks to the end of the bed head, all the anchor points, some suspension points, all that sort of stuff, and reinforced the underneath of it as well. And added like LED lighting and all that sort of stuff, just atmosphere.
You got the visual, KV?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
It just sounds like you've created, like you mentioned before, a safe space. But I think, from the clientele that you're seeming to attract, it's also a place where people can reconnect.
Yep.
Through most of the pods, most of our episodes, we speak about like when couples lose that connection or that intimacy and how to get it back. And we've spoken about like losing the spark before as well, and we call that the drift. And I really do think that your space that you've created from everything you've already shared is something so special that lots of people need. So I just wanted to commend you for that and for finding such a small little gap in the market to fill for so many people. And I think that if we can get this out there a little bit more, maybe you might need to expand to Melbourne or
Yeah,
something.
absolutely. Melbourne
Who
would be
knows?
great.
But you're right, and people tell us that. We've been looking for this and we need this.
Yeah.
Before we actually did it, part of our research was we spoke with Be Daring adult stores and they said, are you serious? Like, people come in here all the time asking if something like that exists. So if you can do it, like, let's use the term again, then they will come. And
That's true.
they have.
And
Absolutely.
1000%, because the equipment's expensive. Like if you go into if you're someone who's looking into that kind of thing to set up a space for yourself, it's very expensive
Yeah.
100%.
just to get a couple of items.
Yep, absolutely. I actually couldn't, hesitant to guess, to be honest, how much we've spent on equipment. We've got a sex lounge as well that I couldn't build that. We had to buy that. But all the toys, mirrors on the walls, all handcuffs, good, proper, solid leather handcuffs that won't break in a heartbeat. They're like, we brought some from Melbourne actually when we were down there recently at Eagle Leather, and I think they were like $160 a pair. No, or that each.
Yeah,
no, I think it was
sure.
one. I think it was one was like $160. So
Yeah.
call it 320 for a set of
Yeah.
cuffs. Yeah, it adds up really quickly.
But also great quality. Like their stuff is really good quality.
Because we didn't want to go cheap. Like, if people are coming here and they're paying the money, we wanted them to have the quality experience.
Yeah, I think it would have a whole different vibe if it was like sort of lower class with items.
Yeah. And the other thing that people do comment on about is the cleanliness of it. Like, a shock because they've been to other venues and go, I'm not going to bag other venues actually, but they're just shocked at how clean we are.
Yeah. It's
So,
a standard.
Yeah, you can tell just by the way you talk about it that you've got quite the system. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
and we're passionate about it. Like when we do the clean, we make sure it's spotless, because if we were coming into that environment, we would want to make sure that it was absolutely spotlessly clean. So if that's what we expect, then that's what we should expect our clients to receive as well.
Yeah, it's interesting because that's the first thing people say to me when I told them about you guys when I first found you months ago.
Yeah.
The first thing they say is, "Well, how clean is it?" Like that's the very first question. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's clean.
When you're in Brisbane, come and check it out for yourself. And I don't mean come and play here. I mean just come and have a look.
Yeah, we would love to. We could do a pod up there. We could record a pod
Absolutely.
up there.
Welcome
Yeah.
to join us anytime.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Is
Yeah,
there anything
from the barn room.
Oh, sorry, B. Go.
No, I was just saying, yeah, pod from the barn room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we haven't asked you that you would like our viewers to know about you guys and what you offer and just anything in general?
I would say watch this space, because we've got some other ideas that aren't fully developed yet, but we've got some other ideas on events and those sorts of things. Like we're talking dinners, cocktail parties, all those sorts of things that we put on here for like-minded people, where they can start to socialise with people that have similar interests, but it's not like going to a swingers club or one of the other come one, come all BDSM venues. It'll be an invite-only ticketed event, and it'll be very classy. So they're the sort of things, but they're still being developed at this stage. Yeah, follow our socials, check our website out.
How do we find you on Instagram?
How do you follow us on Insta?
Yep, what's your handle?
There you go.
Well, add KB to your VIP list for the events.
Yeah, I'm down.
And she'll bring some peeps along.
Classy, of course, classy people. Exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank you both for your time.
Yeah, we are
that
so
was
grateful.
Good. Thank you.
Glad we got.
Yeah, so good.
Thanks for the visuals.
Yes. And we'll see everyone next week.
Thanks for listening to Sex and the One, an original podcast created by
KV and B.
produced by
B and KV.
content by
KV and B.
enthusiasm for sex.
B. And mostly KV.